So recently I've been getting into design of optical systems. I've been reading this blog called A Pencil of Rays by a Japanese chap called called Katsukida, and I think he's an optical design professional, and it's all very nice information on how lenses work and stuff like that. And halfway down the blog page, which is very long, he's got some old pictures of lenses which are very cool. So going back to sort of 1936 to 1964, which is always very cool, seeing how these old optical systems work. And then down the bottom of the page, he's got this section on fisheye lenses, which I've sort of caught my attention. So what I thought I might try and do in this video is try and reproduce this in OghmaNano and try and build this up as a 3D system. And I thought this might be quite a nice way to sort of demonstrate some features of how sort of the model deals with 3D meshes and stuff like this, and 3D shapes. It might just be a fun little demo, and then my intention is to include this in the model as an example demo. So the cool thing about this is this lens, this first lens here, that's sort of this crazy shape. It's got sort of this convex thing, and it's got sort of a box structure on it, and then it's got this sort of this cutout section. I think that's the main element of the fisheye. And of course, fisheye lenses are used to sort of take whole pictures of rooms and stuff like that, so you get a lot in the frame, very wide angle. So let's have a go at generating this. So this is sort of the prism optical demo that comes with the model. So let's change this prism to a convex lens. So let's edit that and change this to a convex lens. And you see it looks a bit wonky, so let's just change that angle to 90, and then we have sort of a convex lens. Now obviously that looks a bit like this. So what I'm going to do, but to build this up, I need to add this sort of this box section in the back. So what I'm going to do is add a new shape to the screen, and it will pop up here. And I'm just trying to get these shapes together, like that. And what I want to do is join these together to form a new mesh. So if I click on this one and click on this one, they're both selected. Then right click and I click join mesh, and this bit here will represent this back bit, and this bit here will represent this forward bit. Now I reckon there's a ratio there. I reckon that's about 60% to 40%. So I think the curvy bit's 40%. I reckon the other bit's 60%. This is not an exact measurement. If you sort of had actual numbers, then you could put the actual numbers in. So I'm going to set the box fraction at, set the concave fraction at, say, I think maybe 0.4. Let's try that. And now let's join that. And we get this new shape here that's just popped up. And we can rotate that around. So let's rotate that. So let's say 90 and 270. Now I'm not I think actually looking at that doesn't quite look right compared to that. I think, well, I don't know. Trouble is I've got no actual measurements of this structure. Let's look at that again. It could be right. So what do we have there? I think we had 40 on there. So I think I'm going to redo that. I'm going to delete that, and I'm going to join this again, but I'm going to have this as 0.5. Just make it a bit bigger. Let's bring that down. Edit, rotate it around, rotate 270 and 90, and let's just look at that again. I think it's looking more like that one there. Yeah, okay, good. So what I'm now going to do is get rid of that one, because we don't want that anymore. I'm going to get rid of this one, because we don't want this anymore. And I'm going to make a new object, a new free object. And this time we want to do this cutout bit. So I'm going to change this, and I'm going to do I have a cutout already? I'm not sure I've got a cutout. I'm actually going to look in the image library to see if I've got this cutout shape. I don't think I do. So shape database, and do I have something called cutout? I don't think I do. So I'm going to make one. I'm going to make something representing this. So we go add shape, call it cutout, and where's that gone? Cutout. Now I'm just going to, this is the shape I've got as the default, just build that. That's a Gaussian. I don't really want a Gaussian because that's not a Gaussian. So I'm going to go to the lens generator and generate. So just click on generate lens and let's try and build that lens. And that's effectively that's half a circle. And if we look at this part here, we actually notice that there's a bit of an edge there, and then this circle comes in. So we're going to try and change the size of this. So if we go edit the lens and change the size, let's change the size to 0.5 and rerun this and regenerate the mesh. That's looking a lot more like that. Yeah, that's not bad actually. I think I might try and use a few more points to represent the center. So if we change the mesh, let's set this up to 30, just get a bit more, oops, 30, get that a bit more fine, rerun that. That looks a bit nicer. So let's close that, and into this scene, so we've got this shape, we've got this box, let's change this to be the cutout. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to try and join these shapes together. So join. Now this time I'm going to call this fish eye 0, and I'm going to set the cutout. So this is the cutout one. I'm going to set this fraction to minus, say that's a minus 0.8, and that should basically put this in here, but put it into the shape negatively. So run that. So this is the result. So let's just rotate that around. And it looks like that. How are we doing? I think I'll just get rid of this one. I'll get rid of this one. How's that look? It's not super bad, is it? I think this could be a bit bigger in this direction, in the Y direction, but it's not bad. So let's change the material now. Let's change it to actual glass. So glasses. So there's actual glass, and let's pop this in the optical system. Have a little play with it. It crashed. Don't know why. Okay. Let's pop this optical system, and that seems quite cool. So it seems to be working. Let's move this. Have a look at what the rays are doing inside. So you've got some sort of reflection of rays inside. Maybe change the angle a bit. What if it hits, say, down here? Because I think this is the key thing about fisheye, is when you hit it at sort of an angle, it sort of straightens out the light quite a lot. So let's try that. Oh, well, it's definitely straightening out the light down there, isn't it? So it comes at quite a crazy angle. It's sort of going into the optical system. Now, what I've got turned on here is it's slightly confusing in that I've got turned on reflected rays and transmitted. We're not in this system here. He's not simulating the reflected rays. So let's just turn off the reflected rays. It'll speed up the computation a bit. So that's actually quite cool. That looks a bit like what's happening here. So maybe we can try some sort of let's change the number of rays coming in. Let's put this at 20 as well. And Oh, still 1. Still quite a lot. That's 10. Okay, let's try that again. I mean, that's quite cool, I think. So I think this bulb here inside is quite clearly shaping this, or reflects this like an angle here, but stuff that sort of misses. Yeah, misses. I think maybe this bulb here should be slightly bigger. But anyway, okay. So that's the first element of our system done. Let's change this again so we're actually going at hitting it sort of straight on. There you go. And that's actually quite cool because this goes straight through here, and that's what happens here. So we've sort of got the first element sorted. Now let's do the next one. So the next element is this looks very much to me like a convex, a concave lens and a convex lens put together. So I think we'll try and make one of those from scratch. So what we'll do is we'll change this to a concave lens. We'll change this to a concave lens, and that's again at a weird angle because it's so let's set this at 90. So that's actually the wrong way around. So if we set that at 0, no, maybe this should be 180, maybe this should be 90. There we go. That's sort of this bit here. No, sorry, that's this bit here. Now I'm just going to shrink this. Clearly I don't have the dimensions, so I'm sort of guessing all of this. Actually, it's a bit annoying. Some of these all these lens diagrams of lenses never have the dimensions, which is a bit sad, really. So there we go. Let's just try and run that. See if that runs. Yeah, I think the triangles are a bit big on here, actually, on this convex lens, and I think they might not be sort of simulating the light passing through. But I think they're sort of quite flat surface. So let's try and rebuild that concave lens. Take database concave. So that's the concave lens, and I don't think I've used many. Let's look at the mesh. Yeah, I've only used 20 points, so let's go 30 points. And let's try and rebuild that. A few more maybe. 40. 40. Okay, so that's a bit better. So let's try and refresh that. Let's try and run that. Okay, well, anyway, I think moving on. I think we've not got many rays coming anyway. So, okay, and it's slightly off center. So, whoops. And also, that interestingly, this looking at this design, actually, this lens should be much smaller than it is currently. So let's zoom that out. Looks better. So something like that. That's better. I think what might be happening actually is I think we might be hitting the limit of transmission events, because if you go to optical and ray tracing editor, we're only allowed 7 bounces of the rays, just to stop the computation going crazy. So if we put 20, because obviously it's sort of one ray can turn into 2 rays when it hits an object, and then those 2 rays can turn into another 4 rays, and it sort of it cascades. So you want to somehow limit the maximum number of rays. So if we run this again, there we go. So we've now got quite a few rays going through this. Okay, so now let's have back where we were doing. So I think we want this sort of sort of convex lens on the front. Now we could build this up just like in the same way I built up this this sort of joint element here, but I've actually got one in the database, so I'm just going to put that in there if I can find it. I think it's called joint lens. Yeah, so this just happened to be in the database, and I could have built it up like I built the other one up, but I'm just to save time, I've already done it. Let's rotate this around, and there we go. Let's just run that. Okay, so that's really quite cool. Okay, I think we might need to add some more rays. So where are we now? So we've done this one and this one. Now, I think these are different. These are meant to be probably different refractive indices. These elements here, this group it's called. But if you look in here, I can't see the rays bending at all as they pass this interface. So I'm just going to treat this as, and I don't really have the dimensions of this, so I'm just going to treat these as two sort of blocks of glass just to speed things up. You could sort of mess around by putting one thing into another, but I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to add new object, and pop that in there, and I'm going to set this type, the material type, to be glass, and let's just pop this here. Now I think personally actually this might be curved here slightly, or maybe curved here slightly, but it's not obvious from the diagram how much it's curved by, so we'll just put this in here. And then I think I'm going to, if I copy this and paste another one, there we go. And then I think what we're going to build is we're going to build two, we'll focus on this lens first. I think we'll put in two convex lenses joined together with a box. So firstly, let's make a convex lens. Good job. Okay. Now let's make a box. The box. So let's join those together. So we'll call this join the mesh. I think the convex lens fraction, from here it looks like, say, 20%. So let's make this 20. Let's go for 4. Let's go for 30. That doesn't look right. Maybe it does. Let's do that again. Convex lens. Let's make that 60. 50. Okay, that'll do. And then let's get rid of this, and then let's join these two, and we're going to call this fisheye 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to call this fisheye 5. And let's set the convex bit to say, let's go for 50 again. 50. So let's get rid of this one. Try to do it again quite quickly. Let's pop that in place. Let's rotate this to 270 and make, whoops, that's not what I want. 1. Let's rotate this to 270. Let's make this 90. So, oh, and we change material. Let's change material to glass again. Now, put that in the optical path. I think he's quite small and chubby, so let's put it like that. And okay, so yeah. Yeah, so I just stopped the video, recording the video, so I had to play with this because I thought I wasn't getting very far very quickly. I suspect I've not got the correct. I don't know what refractive index has been used here for the materials, and I'm also not sure what the dimensions are. So I suspect that's hindering me slightly in doing this. But I sort of been playing, and I found that this element here, so this, I'll just take him out, there we go, this element here with the sort of, so this one needs to be quite close up to the first lens, so it had to be sort of quite close in there for it to work. Is that right? So Daisy. Yeah, it had to be almost sort of in the hollow, as it were, for it to work. Which is sort of, I guess, what this is showing here. So then this, I put this element in to sort of try and straighten things up, and yeah, so effectively you can see that this is the light coming straight through the centre. It more or less goes straight through and sort of hits the back there, but then if you have light coming in at sort of quite an angle, just like that, pop that there, it still sort of makes it's all sort of straightened up and makes its way through to the back there. You can see there's various colours splitting off. Yeah, you can also see how the various wavelengths get diffracted at different amounts. So I actually think that this should be a bit bigger. So you can play with this to your heart's content, really. Anyway, yeah. So well, let's just do one from the top. So that was from the bottom. Let's just do one from the top. Well, I think we've completely missed that. We've missed our I think it's got to hit this bowl here of air, otherwise it doesn't get diffracted properly. There we go. So there we go. So we've got sort of light coming at quite a crazy angle there, and eventually it makes its way to the back here, even though it's sort of, you know, it should really miss the whole system. And that, I guess that's the element of the fisheye. So the problem is now I've made this, I want to keep playing with it. So, you know, I can play with to my heart's content and keep optimizing. But I just really wanted to show the features of sort of how to set up a system like this. OghmaNano is not really made for doing this. This is just really an example of the ray tracer working. But if you do use this and you sort of have feedback, let me know. I'd be very interested to see what you've done with it or what you've not done with it. And yeah, so thank you very much for watching. I think I'll leave it there, but I might continue playing this. I'll pop this demo in the device library, so you can, under ray tracing, so you can play with it a bit more if you want. Yeah, and you can. Yeah, so thank you very much, and goodbye.